Sarah. Thank you for that. And our second speaker is Mrs. Vanita Balaji. She has a master's degree in mathematics from Eastern Michigan University and is now an online tutor, tutoring students from all over the world. Associated with Chinmaya Mission from 2008, worked for CORD Siruvani from 2012 to 2015. Part of the RBI layout study group from Sheshadri sir, and completed at Balvihar Sevak training at Kolvan, and now conducting Balvihar at Kogilu, Yelahanka. She is going on with the topic Yajnas described in Geeta in English. Over to Anitaji.
Hari Om. Thank you, Saraswati ji, for the introduction. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sri Sadgurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om. My humble pranams to the lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji and Swami Brahmananda ji. My pranams to Mataji and other acharyas of Chinmaya Mission. My sincere pranams to my guru and guide Sheshadri sir and Lalitamma, and I thank them for this opportunity. Pranams to all the sadhakas present here. I express my gratitude to the study group members who helped me to evolve through our discussions and would like to thank my family members for supporting me. Hari Om to one and all. My journey with Chinmaya Mission began way back in 2008 when I used to take my children to Balvihar classes where they used to teach Bhagavad Gita slokas. At that time, I did not have any clue about these technical words used in Bhagavad Gita, though I was chanting the slokas. The real study started when I joined Sheshadri sir's study classes in 2018. It changed my perspective and helped me to understand the deeper meanings of the slokas with clarity and conviction. And one such word is Yajna. In the Bhagavad Gita, the word Yajna appears repeatedly in many chapters. But actually, when we hear this word Yajna, what comes to our mind? It is a ritual, a sacrifice, a homam, or a form of sadhana. Most of us think it as a ritual in which a offering is made into a sacred fire with chanting of the Vedic mantras. And indeed, this understanding is valid. In the Vedic period, such yajnas were performed for material and spiritual fulfillment. But the Gita gives another definition for this word. Our Gurudev, according to Gita, describes yajna as any selfless activity undertaken without egocentric desire in the spirit of dedication and welfare of the community. The very essence of Karma Yoga also states that any action which is performed as an offering to the Lord becomes an yajna. My Guru, Sheshadri sir, often reminds us that the intention behind any action is very important. Whatever the action may be, whether it is cooking, eating, walking, teaching, or even listening, it should be done with Yajna Bhava. I am sincerely trying to follow that from the time I joined the study classes, or rather from the time I became the member of Chinmaya family. Now, coming to my topic, yajnas described in Gita, I will be talking about the 12 types of yajnas explained by Lord Krishna in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. My talk is mostly based on Gurudev's commentary from his book, The Holy Gita. To recall, in the 3rd chapter of Gita, after listening to Krishna's discourse on Sankhya Yoga, Arjuna raises a doubt and requests Lord Krishna to clear it. He asks, Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. His question was, which is superior, action or knowledge? Any true seeker can get such a doubt. To remove this confusion, Lord Krishna explains the twofold path of action and knowledge for self-development. He begins by teaching the true meaning of yajna and why every action should be performed in the spirit of yajna. He continues, यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् एषवोऽस्पृष्टकामधुक्. Here Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna that Lord Prajapati created the mankind along with Yajna at the beginning of the creation. This was done so that the humanity can live in perfect harmony with the universe. He says this is the very spirit of Karma Yoga. Krishna further cautions that actions performed without the spirit of yajna leads to the accumulation of vasana and that becomes obstacles in one's spiritual journey. He adds, यज्ञशिष्टाशिना सन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वगं पापः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. Here, Lord Krishna says, those who share remnants of yajna will be freed from sins and ultimately reach him. But those who do not share the Yagnashishta are in fact like thieves eating their own sins. This will become the reason for their fall from their spiritual path. In this context, Gurudev explains the Panchamahayagnas that are to be performed by every sadhaka. They are Deva Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Manusya Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. Each one of us are indebted to great rishis, our ancestors, and the ganas, and we make this offering to them to show our gratitude. Now, the questions which can arise in seeker's mind are, what is action? What should be the spirit of action? And what is the purpose of yajna? For this, Krishna begins his explanation. To perform any action, to perform any yajna, there are four basic requirements. One, the deity to be invoked. Two, fire for the offering. Three, materials to do the offering. And four, the yajna karta, who is the performer. Lord Krishna gives the purpose of yajna in the following famous sloka from the Gita, which gives the holistic view of yajna and Brahman. The sloka is Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. Krishna says, a perfect sage is one whose mind is established in knowledge and knows the infinite reality. When such a perfect sage performs any yajna, for him all these things, the sacred fire, the offering, the deity, and the performer are nothing, all are nothing but Brahman and Brahman alone. In chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Lord Krishna gives a comprehensive list of 12 yajnas and elaborates the four basic requirements for each of the yajna. A spiritual seeker can practice any of these yajna for the mastery of mind and senses. And thus, the Lord begins the list of the yajnas with the following shloka. Daivamevapare yajnam yogina paryupasate brahmagnavapare yajnam yajnanaivopajuhati. In this shloka, Lord Krishna gives the description of two yajnas, Deva Yajna and Brahma Yajna. The first among these is Deva Yajna. This is performed by some spiritual speakers in which they invoke a specific deity and offer oblations into the sacred fire to get their blessings. But from the different perspective of a perfect sage, Deva Yajna means an offering made to the Devatas behind the sense objects and sense organs. Whereas some other seekers perform Brahma Yajna. In this yajna, the seeker offers a conditioned self into the Brahman with a clear understanding that individual self is none other than unconditioned Brahman. After explaining these two yajnas, Lord Krishna goes on to describe the next set of yajnas in the following sloka. The slokas are Srotadinindriyanyanye Sayyamagnishu juhati Shabdadin Vishayananye Indriyagnishu juhati Sarvan Indriya Karmani Pranakarmani Chapare आत्मसंयम्य योगाग्नौ जुहति ज्ञानदीपिते. The three slokas described here are primarily meant for controlling the mind. They are yajna of sense control, yajna of mind control, atma samyamya yajna. In the yajna of Indriya Nigraha, the seekers withdraw the senses even before they come into the contact with sense objects by controlling the very gateway of the stimuli. This is not as it seems and needs strong determination and discipline. Other seekers follow a slightly different approach. They perform yajna of mano nigraha. In this yajna, the seeker allows the senses to engage in the objects but remains fully alert and detached. They offer sense objects into the fire of sense organs by which the senses are controlled. That is, mind is in complete control and does not fall prey to the external sense objects. Now, in the fifth yajna, Atma Samyamya Yajna, Lord Krishna describes a more direct method of self-restraint from the field of activity. These seekers use discrimination and knowledge of self to control both sense organs and organs of actions and offer them into the fire of right knowledge. The seeker has a clear understanding that I am the self is not the limited ego born out of body, mind, and intellect. This is Atma Samyamya Yajna. Moving forward, in the next verse, Lord Krishna describes 5 more yajnas. In the slokas. Dravya yajnastapo yajna, yoga yajnastatha pare, swadhyaya jnana yajnascha, yatah samshitat vrataha. The 5 yajnas described in the slokas are Dravya yajna, Tapo yajna, Yoga yajna, Swadhyaya yajna, and Jnana yajna. In Dravya yajna, seekers offer their dharmically earned wealth as charity to the needy. Some tapasvis perform tapo yajna in which they undertake austerities like vratas and offer it as sacrifice to the Lord. In Yoga Yajna, yogis follow a disciplined upasana in the form of Ashtanga Yoga and offer that as a sacrifice to the Lord. In Swadhyaya Yajna, spiritual seekers immerse themselves in the study of scriptures and offer their reflections for introspection and revel in their own self. This is the pledge we undertake in our study group to lead a life with spirit of Yajna. In the Jnana Yajna, the highest of all, the seeker offers the ignorance itself as a sacrifice in the fire of knowledge. Lord Krishna declares, among all the yajnas, Jnana Yajna is the highest and it helps the seeker to reach his goal. In the next couple of slokas, Lord describes 2 more yajnas. The slokas are Apane juhati pranam prane panam tatha pare pranapanagati rudva pranayam pranayam aparayanaha apare niyataharaha pranan praneshu juhati sarvapete yajnavido yajnakshapita kalmashaha. The yajnas described here are pranayama yajna, niyatahara yajna. The regulation of breath through inhalation and exhalation is called pranayama. This is very important in a spiritual journey. There is a deep connection between prana and mind. The moment we observe and regulate the breath, the mind immediately comes under the control. This yajna, in which mind is controlled through prana, is called pranayama yajna. Equally important is niyatahara yajna, moderation and discipline in food. The rishis of Vedic period were completely aware of the fact that a strict and balanced food keep both mind and body fit for the sadhana. In this yajna, the seekers control their ahara, by which mind gains greater concentration in a healthy body. After listening to these 12 yajnas, two doubts can arise in the mind of the sadhaka. First one, do all these different paths lead to the same goal or different goal? Are these only theories to understand intellectually or practically possible? For this, Lord Krishna says that these paths are only the means, not the end. He explains that all these yajnas ultimately lead to one and the same goal. When a sincere seeker pursues any of these yajnas, build self-effort, he understands the purpose of yajna is to attain the supreme knowledge. And by this, sadhaka gets qualified to take up the dhyana yoga. And the deep meditation, the seeker ultimately realizes that the self is none other than the supreme Brahman. Finally, Lord Krishna gives a simple technique by which action performed can be turned into yajna. The famous sloka, Yat karoshi yat snashi, yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madharpanam. Lord says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, whatever you practice as austerity, do it as offering to Him with Samarpana Bhava. This way, action becomes yajna. Yajna is not about the outer fire, it is an inner transformation which takes the seeker to the innermost self. Let every action become a sacred offering with the surrenderance to the God. And it is Krishna's promise that whoever follows this path shall surely reach him. Let us therefore perform these yajnas to purify, to control our senses and to purify our mind and become eligible for gaining the supreme knowledge. Let every action of ours become an yajna. For this, let us seek the grace and blessings of our Pujya Gurudev and Lord Krishna. Hari Om, Sri Guru Pyo Namah. Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Anita ji, for explaining the yajnas in a lucid way. To say about the yajna spirit, it cannot be other than our Swamiji to say how to work in a yajna spirit, that our mission Swamijis, everybody work 365 days so selflessly without any expectation. So that is the main thing what we have to learn from them, to work in a yajna spirit. And next, our third speaker of the day is Mr. Gopal sir. Gopal sir is Gopal sir is a senior member of Chinmaya Mission who has been associated with since 1980. He served as the CHIC secretary and Chinmaya Mission secretary from 1991 to 1994. Actively conducted the study classes and guiding CHIC students. He also organized the well-known soul song Sandhya programs in Bangalore. Sir has hosted Balwar camps and yagnas at his home while living in Shanghai, China, spreading this knowledge. Now, Sir is going to speak on no distraction for the one who does the right action. He is going to speak in English. Over to Sir.
Hari Om, Hari Om. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतम करुणामयम नमामि चिन्मयम देवम सद्गुरुम ब्रह्मविद्वारम. Hari Om. My prostrations to dear Puja Gurudev, our dear Swami Brahmananji, Swamini Amma, Samatama, and all the Acharyas of Chinmaya Mission and the Acharyas who have helped in bringing me to this shape as of today. Um, in this topic which I have taken up to discuss today with you, the logic that is behind why does a person who's in the path of yoga doesn't have destruction at all. Why does it? Why is it so? Is it just simply faith? Krishna just says, whoever follows the path of yoga or the path of perfection, the path of righteousness, which like Gurudev puts it, is 100% never going to be destroyed. So it looks like he's trying to pep up Arjuna, who is in a pessimistic mind. Arjuna's mind is pessimistic. He wants to run away from the this one war. He also is now slightly got convinced